everybody, welcome back to the Fear Be Average trading channel, and today I'm going to be going over our weekly market analysis episode. I'm not sure, I'll figure it out when I edit it, but we're going to be going over US30, my thoughts for US30, and overall what I am expecting for this upcoming week in US30. So let's get right on into the video. Drink this water before I start talking. All right, let's get straight to it. So first things first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark up the previous day's Asian range, which is going to be Fridays, because when the market opens on Sunday, it doesn't have its own range, the Asian range, to go off of, since the market closed before the Asian range would have started on Friday. So we're going to mark up our previous Friday's Asian range, because this is the Asian range that will more than likely be respected. Then we can take off these. So now we see where our Asian range is. We see what's happening overall. We see that the price right here cleared these lows before having this strong push to the top side, clearing this liquidity. So ideally, if we're still bullish, we would ideally want to remain above these highs and possibly respect this last down candle before this up move right here. Why? Because this is the last down candle before the up move that started the retracement move that we're currently in. So from this low to this high. So as you can see, we have this 15-minute order block as of right now, right here, and that is also in confluence with the 50% of our previous Friday's Asian range, also in confluence with the 70.50%, also in confluence with that 15-minute order block, and we also have that 35,600 level right there also. So there's reason to expect why we will see a reaction from this area. Maybe not long term, but we're more than likely going to see a reaction. So maybe when the market opens, we'll see a price wick down, maybe consolidate, do whatever it's going to do before pushing higher. So that is something we can expect, and this is just based off a lower time frame analysis. We haven't gone into higher time frame analysis yet, but what else are we going to do? We're also going to mark up this Friday's high, because if we're overall bullish, we're going to be targeting this high. Then we're also going to be looking and paying attention to Friday's low. So we got the previous day's high and the previous day low. These are very important because depending on whether the market is going to have a bullish day or a bearish day, these are the two highs and lows that the market is going to be targeting. So I'll just label them so you don't confuse. So we got the previous day's low, then we got the previous day high. So just like that. So ideally, if this move was to happen, we will be looking to target these highs up here. Why? Because it's the previous day high, and if we're overall in a bullish scenario and we respect 35,600, respect the order block, respect our fib setup, and respect this Asian range, we should more than likely see a bullish rise in price. But what else can we look for? What if this doesn't want to happen? Because this is a simple analysis, not even going off a higher time frame. But now let's go on to our 4 hour and up. So we're going to see what the 4 hour is showing us. Matter of fact, we're going to start off on the daily first, and we're going to go back down. So as you can see, price is making all-time highs. It cleared the liquidity above these all-time highs at 35,626, and you can see we're closing right below it. So this is showing me that there is going to be a willingness to see price have a retracement in price, due to the fact that you can see we've had 1, 2, 3, then we had a down day, then 4, 5, 6, 7 days in a row we've been trending upward. Now we're starting to lose momentum, and you could tell by these candles we cleared these highs and we're closing back below. So this could be a scenario where we're expecting a retracement, and this could have just been a false break of these old highs to then trade lower. So now where would we expect price to trade lower to if it does? So we're going to pull our fib from the low that started this overall daily move, and we're going to mark up right here. You can see that we have these last 3 down candles right here, 1, 2, 3. And if you go to the 3-day chart, you can see that this is going to be a order block that we're going to be paying attention to. So we're going to mark this up as just I'll just say a daily order block for right now. We're going to go back to the daily. You can now anticipate price to come back down to this area, which is also at 34,800, which is another big figure level that we want to be paying attention to. So just like on our lower time frame, we were able to map out possible trades. This is going to be a longer term trade due to the fact that it's way deeper, but this is about 800 pips away. So we're not going to expect price to move as of right now that fast. But what else can we do? We can get our 38.20%. Mark this up. We can also anticipate a possible reaction. So if price wants to maybe come a little bit lower, but it still has the momentum to keep going higher, it could just trade off higher. But if price really wants to go deeper, possibly consolidate before having a big expansion, we can also expect that also. But as of right now, based off the higher time frames, I'm looking for a possible short scenario. So now let's move on to the 4 hour to see if we can find anything that will also show us likewise. So right here on the 4 hour, you can see we had another thing. We had a false break above these highs, clearing the liquidity above these swing highs. Now we are trading lower. So we have a few things that could possibly happen. Price could either start to retrace a little bit. As you can see is right now, it did react to these fib levels, which are also at this 4 hour order block right here. So there is reason to believe price will continue to move bullish right now. But like I said, we're keeping the higher time frame in mind. The very higher time frame. We're going to keep that in mind. So as of right now, based off this small little price area on the 4 hour, price looks bullish. Remember, like how we saw on the daily, price was looking bearish. So we just want to keep that all in mind. Now we're going to go back to our lower time frames. So like we said, if we were overall bullish, you can see we're respecting the 4 hour fib, the 4 hour order block, and we're also inside of this lower time frame about to tap into the 15-minute order block also. So these, the 4 hour and the 15-minute are in confluence right now, bullish. The higher time frame is bearish. So just in case this bullish move doesn't pan out, we're going to anticipate other sell side scenarios. So what are we going to do? We're going to pull our fib from the high up here, the highest high, which is an all-time high for US30 right now, to this low that price created at 35,550. And we can see price did have a retracement, came into it, starting going lower. So what are we going to do? We're going to move it back lower to this swing high right here. And what are we going to do? We're going to mark up this last down candle before this up move. Why is this significant? Because this was a previous order block that you can see if you pull it over that got disrespected and traded through. So since it got traded through, that order block became a breaker block, meaning it broke structure to the downside. And you can see this is also in confluence with the 70.50% area. And if we mark up the 50% of this breaker block to get a refined area, you can see is right in the middle, right there. So if say now we do have that push, we are rejecting 35,600, we are rejecting the 70.50% of our fib, and we could tap in this order block, but we might not. Let's go to a little bit of a higher time frame. You can see we tap into the high of this last 30-minute down candle. So let's see. We could possibly expect price to have this push higher, trade, maybe consolidate before trading even lower to this previous day's low. That would be in confluence with this daily overall perspective that we're looking at. We could also expect price to have a reaction at this last down candle here, because even though this is a small down candle, this would still be classified as a daily order block. And what is price is this at? 35,320. We go back over here, look for 35,320. You can see that's all the way down here, which will be breaking the previous day's low and trading very lower. So this could be a case you would look for a possible sell, because we are going to keep in mind, that price is creating higher highs and higher lows. So we are in a short-term bearish market, but we also are creating higher highs and higher lows also. So we want to keep those both in mind. We just have to wait for the market to ideally show us what it more likely wants to do. But we have two scenarios that we could look for. Price is either going to push slightly higher when the market opens on Sunday, trade into this 15-minute breaker block, trade into our fib that we have drawn from this high to this low, and we're going to just ideally see what market wants to do. We're actually going to pull it right here. So it changes a few things, but we'll see. The market could trade a little bit lower. If it does trade a little bit down to this 15-minute order block, or trade a little bit lower, it will fix things. But as of right now, we're just going to draw it from where price is, so we could possibly tap into these last three up candles before this down move. Which, if you go to, we're on a 15-minute, if you go to the 45-minute time frame, you'll see that this is the last up candle before the down move. And this just goes to show you guys that the market is very fractal, and even you just got to learn to see it for what it is. So we can expect this possible short-term setup, or we can expect price to tap into this 15-minute order block, possibly consolidate before trading higher to go for these previous day's highs. So these are two scenarios that we're looking at, but based off the higher time frame, like I said, the daily, price looks more than likely like it's going to trade downwards. But if you go off the 4 hour, you can see we're still rejecting, we're still bullish. And the lower time frame, the 15 minute, we still have reason to believe why price is going to push up, because we have one confirmation, the 50% of this order block, two confirmation, this big figure 35,600 level, third confirmation, this 15-minute order block, and sixth confirmation, we have this fib. This sell side scenario, I can't talk, has about maybe only 3 confirmations. We have the fib, the breaker block, and just that's really it, honestly. So the setup that has more probability would be this long setup, but like I said, we just have to wait for price to ideally show us what it has the willingness to want to do, and we wait. We don't predict the market, we just anticipate what is likely to happen, and we react when it shows us what is likely to happen. Because the reason I'm bullish is because I seen that we had this false break scenario. We traded into this breaker block right down here, this last up candle before this down move. You can see price traded right on into it right here before trading higher. So we can now anticipate price is more than likely going to trade higher, target the higher liquidity, and due to the fact that we're creating all-time highs, it could just keep pushing. But like I said, based off the daily, we're just going to keep this sell side in mind, and if we see price start to retrace and come into this specific area, we're going to look for potential sell scenarios. So that's really it for my analysis on US30. A little quick analysis. It's been a good week, so we're just going to see what we can get. Like I said, don't predict the market, we anticipate what is likely to happen. We let the market show us what it wants to do. We don't make a bias and say the market is going to go one way and we stick to it, and we don't change our mind no matter what. We read what the market is doing, and the market will tell us where it wants to go, what it wants to do, and it will tell us everything that needs to be told. So hopefully I was able to give you guys a little insight to what I'm expecting for this upcoming week on US30. Overall, I'm still bullish, but like I said, the higher time frame is indicating that we could likely see a retracement coming in this week. So that is something to pay attention to. But by all means, everyone have a good trading week. Let's get right to it. Everyone have a good day, good night, and don't forget to fear being average. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.